It's time to go higher, further, faster, and talk about the Marvels, you all. I had a blast with this movie, and let's dive into the review. We don't want to wait too much longer on this one. First and foremost, I just want to go ahead and give our three actresses a big round of applause. They were so exciting together. I loved getting their chemistry and getting to grow with them. The character writing in this one is so much better than the first Captain Marvel. We get more of Carol Danvers' character and personality in this one. You could tell Nia DaCosta was a big help behind that director's chair. Her stamp and her creativity on this movie were so needed, and the result was awesome. I really liked Iman Vellani and her family. I think that first, she's a good character, and they are a family that are going to go far in the MCU because I really enjoy their chemistry. I like the culture, but Iman herself is so exciting and has so much personality and energy. She is fantastic on screen, and I loved seeing her character, Miss Marvel, grow more and more in this movie. She is the bomb.com, y'all. And Teyonah Parris, I can't leave her out. She was wonderful. I loved her character, and I loved the black girl magic she had, y'all. Listen, I loved it. I really enjoyed Teyonah Parris, and I liked the tension between her and Brie's character, Carol. I really like the Carol-Monica tension because we know from the first Captain Marvel, Carol said she was gonna come back, and Carol did not come back. Those scenes between the two of them where you could feel the oozing tension left over from her leaving. Really enjoyed our three characters. I think they're so strong, they're so good together, and the theme of teamwork coming into this, Carol not having to work alone, none of them having to work alone, was such a bright spot in this movie. I really enjoyed it. Some other things I really enjoyed, I thought it was actually really silly and fun at times, and it worked. It wasn't this over silly Thor Love and Thunder. It actually worked in the movie. There's a scene where all the cats are involved and they have to transfer some passengers. It's hilarious. I really loved how cute and cuddly that scene was. There was one scene that was maybe like super goofy that I didn't love. I'll get into that a little bit later. The visual effects look so good. Listen, Quantumania, we can just count that as one mistake because this visually, the CGI looks like it got time to bake in the oven. The outer space scenes feel real. They look so good. Nothing looks inorganic or out over the top. There may be a couple scenes here and there where you can notice some stuff, but for the most part, everything looks good. When Carol's flying, things look awesome. I really like that. And honestly, what I love is how much they've given us the power scaling of Captain Marvel in this movie. Carol's ripping through ships and beating down guys like quickly and easily. And I'm like, that is the Avenger that we've been wanting to see, the big Avenger. So I love getting to see like her power level, getting to see her prowess so much more. And the other characters' powers, I think we don't see them as much. And that's not a huge deal because remember, while this is the Marvels, it technically is Captain Marvel 2. But I really like that, and we get a story going on with Carol, and we get this character development throughout the movie and these realizations that I really like to see in that character. Something that I think we didn't get enough of in the first one. We got that character, and I really like the first Captain Marvel, but I think the story's a little disjointed in that one. And let's talk about the story in this one, because while I think it really has a good central message, and I think that it drives the movie pretty well, I do think sometimes things can get a little disjointed. I think sometimes the pacing can be a little off. I think sometimes there are some moments where there are a little bit of lulls between the next big sequence, but all in all, I really enjoyed it. I have some issues with the final battle. And my biggest issue with the movie is, unfortunately, Dar-Benn. This is maybe Marvel's worst villain in a while. Maybe not of all time, but definitely their worst in a while. I don't think Dar-Benn was that great. I don't think she was that memorable. She didn't have presence. I think the character was just a little hollow. I really wanted like a Hela-like effect from Dar-Benn, and I just didn't get it. I think maybe her motive, having a little more thought. I thought the motive at first was not that great, but I think the motive is actually there. I just think that the villain themselves, the character itself, and I hate to say this about Zawe Ashton, but maybe the acting just didn't quite land in my opinion, and it made for a not so great villain experience. So I wasn't really here for the villain. And then there's one gag in the movie, I won't spoil, but they go to a specific planet, and the gag in the movie maybe overstays its welcome just a little. They do cut away from it though, and I'm glad we didn't get to Taika Waititi goats territory, because that was a mess. The gag overstays its welcome just a little bit, but all in all, thematically really love the themes of family, and of course the theme of teamwork, coming together for a bigger cause. I really like that a lot. This was awesome. This was a great time. I had so much fun with the Marvels. I can't wait to go watch it again. Actually, what's funny is after the movie, I'm feeling like I had more fun. I know that's weird to say, but I feel like I had more fun the more that I think about it, and I just can't wait for another watch, because I feel like maybe a night after and I woke up and I'm just feeling like I had so much fun in that movie. And I think that's the charm of this movie, is that there's a lot of fun to be had. You know, with Quantumania, it just looked so bad and so much weird stuff was going on for an Ant-Man movie. It makes sense for the Marvels here, and I really like the three of them. They're dynamic. Iman is definitely a standout, but that doesn't mean that Carol and Monica aren't great as well. I loved all three of them together, and I cannot wait to see more of them. Guys, there is a lot of future setup here, so definitely be sure to stick through it to the end and the post-credit, because there is a lot of setup for the future. And I hate to say this, I know we all feel this way, but I think Marvel is back in a sense. Whereas I don't think people are gonna go so crazy over this movie, but I think the setup that this movie has and where things are going, I think this is what we wanted out of Phase 4. I think this is where Phase 5 is gonna correct some things. So I think we're gonna get some solid directions and some solid moves in the next direction of the MCU, because I know I loved Phase 4, but I understand that the general consensus was that it wasn't great. But I think that we're charting out a path now, and we have a map through Phase 5 that is going to lead us somewhere really big. Actually, hate to spoil, but we got 2 branches that are being formed here. So y'all, I can't wait. Guys, if I had to give a rating to the Marvels, I'm going with an 8.5 out of 10. Listen, I know that I'm gonna get flack for that. I know I'm gonna get called a shill. I know people are gonna hate it. I understand, because there's mixed reviews already. But let's be respectful of one another, guys. This is a movie. We gotta be respectful. We gotta enjoy one another. And let's just enjoy the movie. And if we didn't, I understand. But I really, really dug this film. Guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.